Welcome into the Peyton Chatagnier Show, episode 2, presented by The Rogue. I'm Neil McCready. That's Peyton Chatagnier. You probably recognize him by now. We're going to get to a number of things we're taping on. I always believe in timestamping these things, Peyton. Ever since COVID happened, I timestamp stuff because the world changes so fast. We're taping this on Tuesday night. Ole Miss, Arkansas State got, rain out today. They'll play on Wednesday. So by the time you see this or hear this, that game will probably already be played. So you're going to say, why didn't you talk about Arkansas State? Because neither one of us have a time portal, and it's kind of impossible to go into the details of a game that hasn't been played yet, even though by the time you hear this show, it will have been played. So, so we'll tell you first about the Rogue 4450 I-55 North in Jackson. They sponsor this show. They make this show happen. We certainly appreciate them. Check them out. All the best items: Peter Millar, Martin Dingman, Jack Victor, True Grit, Halsey, Duckhead, lots of other brands. They got a great collegiate collection for the Ole Miss fan in your life. Got Mississippi State stuff, LSU, Auburn, Alabama, whatever. They've got that stuff too. So check them out. 4450 I-55 North in Jackson, or therogue.com. Peyton, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Appreciate you kind of accommodating your schedule. We probably were shooting to do this on Wednesday, but now, as we mentioned, Peyton will have a game, so we're moving this around. Ole Miss sweeps Charleston Southern over the weekend. Got Virginia Commonwealth coming in this weekend, so we'll get to all that stuff first. Just what was it like just to kind of get that first weekend under your belt? I mean, I know it wasn't your first time, you wasn't your first rodeo and all that stuff, but still, opening day is a big deal. You guys had huge crowds and all that stuff. So was it kind of good just to get that done?
No doubt. First game jitters, no matter what. Like, it's my third time doing this, and it's the same feeling. It's crazy. And it was actually a way better turnout fan wise than I thought there was going to be, especially on Friday. It was a little bit colder, kind of like we talked about last week. But yeah, man, it was awesome. There was a ton, even in right field. There was a lot of guys there early on Friday. I was impressed. It was awesome.
Yeah, 11,500 people on a February college baseball game. That speaks volumes for a fan base. It speaks volumes for a program, for you guys. I mean, the Charleston Southern guys had to be looking around going, no way.
Yeah, they probably were. I'm sure it was a bit of a shock to them, but it's awesome. I love it. I'm sure the MLB lockout kind of, maybe people are just missing baseball and, wanting to get back into it. So,
do you follow that at all? Is that something you keep an eye on, what's going on with MLB?
Not really. I mean, I hear about it, but I'm not out there searching for it. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it just means we're going to get more coverage, which is awesome for us.
Yeah. People are hungry for baseball, and you guys are playing it, so they're watching you. So you beat a Charleston Southern team that, I don't want to be disrespectful towards them, and I know you don't either, but they won't be the best team you play this season. That's probably a safe understatement. What do you get out of a weekend like that when it's pretty obvious you're playing a team that, if you guys played 100 times, you'd win close to 100 of those games. What can you still take out of a weekend like that?
I mean, I think we got out a lot of the stuff we needed. We needed our arms to throw. We needed to see some guys throw some innings and actually pitch in a real game scenario and everything like that. And our hitters got to see light ABs, and it was good. I mean, they played well, and obviously, we were expected to win, but again, it's baseball, and anything can happen. But they're a good team, and it was good just to see a lot of the young guys, get a step in and play and have a good time.
I don't know how much scoreboard watching you do ever. Certainly, probably this time of the year, you're not doing a whole lot of scoreboard watching, but you probably saw Mississippi State lost on Friday, Arkansas lost on Friday. There were some other teams around the league that I think Florida lost a couple of games. Is that kind of a reminder as you get up on Saturday and Sunday to go to the ballpark that, hey, it is baseball and you can lose these games? And these are games that can get away from you. Obviously, Arkansas is better than Illinois State. Mississippi State just won a national championship. They didn't forget how to play baseball. You can lose games to lesser teams if you're not ready to go.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that's just what's crazy about baseball is we play so many games. Like, we're going to look back at this weekend 3 months from now, and whatever state did, it's not going to matter. Like, it's really not going to be that big of a difference. The biggest thing is just being able to play and get ABs, get innings in, everything. So you are ready for SEC play and stuff.
So I know you're hitting 250 so far. It's too early to even look at batting averages and stuff. You hit first on you led off on Friday, you led off on Sunday. You hit fifth on Saturday, which a lot of leadoff guys don't usually ever hit in the middle of the lineup. I know that it's early and Mike Bianco's still kind of experimenting with lineups and stuff, and you're probably going to lead off more often than not. But is there a different approach for you when you're hitting fifth as opposed to when you're leading off?
A little bit. I think what is unique to me about being a leadoff guy is I'm not necessarily the bunt, see a lot of pitches, try to draw a walk, foul off everything type of guy. Like if it's 2-0 and there's a fastball and it's up and in, I'm taking a big hack at it. Sometimes it plays, into my game and sometimes it hurts me. But so it's kind of a little bit different in that way to where, like, I think a lot of leadoffs, it's about on-base percentage and seeing pitches and everything like that, which I still try to do, but not as much. But then really once you get into, once I start batting fifth, then you can really kind of take away from the approach of having to see a lot of pitches. So I think there is a little bit of a difference, especially early on in the game. But for the most part, I try to stay within myself and stay with the same approach.
Obviously, last season, the Tim Elko ACL injury, and he came back from it and was able to do some really cool stuff, but he wasn't moving well at all at the end of last season. I think even Tim would obviously admit that. He looked to be moving a lot better. We'll talk about the bombs in a minute, but you're over there next to him on the field. Does he look like he's back to his pre-injury self in terms of his movement and his athleticism?
Yeah, I do think so. And I think if you were to ask him, he would say the same thing where I want to say he's probably 95% back. Like, and maybe that other 5% is a little bit more mental. He's still wearing a brace, which doctor orders. He's still supposed to wear it and everything like that. But he'll even say without it, it's just like a comfortability thing now. He's had it for so long. He's been wearing the brace and everything like that, where it's just like he almost feels naked without it, But he's moving around great, and the bat's working out great for him. He's an amazing player. Yeah, he had that dive and play. He's moving around great. He's awesome. Yeah.
He's already hit a couple of bombs. How many home runs can he hit this year? Is there in your mind, is there kind of an over-under number for him that you would if I told you 23.5 was the over-under?
I think he could hit it. I think he could hit it easily. It's unbelievable the amount of power he has, but mainly the power to the opposite side of the field. Like, to me, his home runs that are really impressive are the low and away pitches that he can just flick out. Like, literally just put the bat on the ball and it just goes. I mean, he's a special player. Yeah.
What's your highest exit velo ever, Peyton?
I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you now, it's not whatever Kemp's hitting. Okay. I can promise you that. I've maybe touched 100 once or twice. Like, yeah, I already know where we're going with this.
Yeah, you know where I'm setting you up for. So he hits it's like 114 or 116. I don't know, some ungodly number that only some of the really good, only the really powerful guys and the bigs hit. Like I saw Kyle Schwarber hit one last year, I think, while he was still with the Nationals, that was like 118.5 or something off the bat. And I just can't even fathom that. When you're down on the field and you see someone, or in this case, probably hear someone hit 114 or whatever off the bat, what does it look or sound like from your perspective?
It's crazy because, like, I try to tell people, like, it is just, if I was a fan, I would come 2 hours early to this game specifically to watch Kemp Alderman hit BP. Like, it is unreal how far he can hit the ball and how hard he hits it. So it's nothing new to us, but, like, it's just amazing every time it happens. I would absolutely hate to be that pitcher. Just the thought in the back of my head, knowing, like, if a line drive comes right back at me, like, I'll actually probably die. Like, I would, you know what I mean? Like,
because you can't react to that. There's not enough time.
There's no way. I don't care how fast you are. It was 117 or 16, whatever it was, coming at you, that you got no shot moving out of the way. I always joke about it. If I had just half the power of him, I would be a happy man. Yeah,
just to have it one day, wouldn't that be fun?
Seriously, what's it like? I want to know what it's like to be able to hit the ball in the parking lot in left field. Like, I want to know. You know, I'm lucky if I can get it out of the bullpen.
Well, I'm lucky if I can get it out of the infield at this point in my life. I watched Nolan Arenado take BP one time at Wrigley Field, and it remains to this day one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. I mean, the majestic, but it wasn't really how far the ball went.
Yeah,
it was how fast the ball got into the left field bleachers, like just rattled around. And you'd see the idiots out there trying to catch it. And you're like, no, dude, no,
get out of the way of that thing.
Get out of the way. That thing is a missile, my man.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
That's one thing we always joke about. Is I swear to you, like whenever we're out on the field and there's a foul ball, I promise you, the fans for some reason seem to run towards the ball instead of away from it. Like obviously they're trying to actually run away from it, but every time it looks like they just end up running into the ball. It's so funny, but
yeah, that was a shot. That's power you can't coach. I mean, so you, and he's a guy that you talked about last week. So I'll kind of piggyback on that. What you guys threw some young guys. I know, again, you're winning these games handily. You did the 10-run rule, both the Saturday and Sunday games. From your perspective, some of the young guys that came in to pitch, who impressed you, who sort of caught your eye a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, like I said yesterday, people are going to really start to know who Camp Alderman is. I think he's going to have a huge part in our lineup this year. He's just a beast as a human in general. But yeah, some of the younger guys, it was good to see Hunter Elliott and Riley Maddox, get some innings in, and they did exactly what I thought they were going to do. I mean, they went up there with a lot of confidence, and I think that's the thing that separates them from a lot of the younger guys. It's just the confidence and the swagger that they kind of carry around with themselves when pitching and everything. But it was also good to see the transfers do exactly what we thought they would do. Honestly, I thought they were going to be great, and that's what ended up in there. John pitched really well, and Jack pitched really well, and it's kind of what I said last weekend as well. I think people are underestimating our pitching a little bit. Like, I think we have a lot more depth than a lot of people think. But it was cool to see. Even some of the guys that got ABs late Sunday, it was just awesome to see them get some ABs in.
So you guys are going into a stretch now, like I mentioned at the top. You're playing on Wednesday, then you've got the 3 weekend games. The weather looks good for the weekend. Then you've got 2 games first part of next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Getting up, just kind of going to the ballpark every day for a while to play games, not just practice. Is that obviously something you get excited about? Does that kind of help you sort of get into your routines in terms of your hitting and that kind of thing, that you start getting into a flow? I know, because SEC play is still a little ways away, but it's going to be here before you know it. Yeah,
I think no doubt, just kind of like I said earlier, just the amount of games we get to play is going to get us prepared to play SEC play and everything like that. But I'm the type of guy that, like, if we got a game at 4:00, I want to get there no later than 11 or 10 o'clock. Like, I love to be there super early and have no responsibilities, because I just feel like Coach B does a really good job of, we have a set plan on game days. We have, a meal at this time. We have a meeting at this time, stretch, blah, 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 go down the list. But I want to be able to, before that, just kind of chill and relax and go hit if I need to, or whatever it may be, before it's time to go. Because as soon as, like, it comes around to meal time, whatever it is, we always see 4 hours before the game. And right after that, it's just boom, 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 boom. We have stuff. But it is good to just get in that routine of playing and being at the field.
We're getting closer to kind of the anniversary of the 2-year anniversary of things getting shut down. I was curious, and I asked you about this a minute ago. It was your first year, I think, 2020. Yeah. You guys were off to such a great start, and you played in Monroe against ULM, which, by the way, just as an aside, is an incredible academic institution. And I just want to point that out. You guys were playing against ULM, and your season got shut down on your way home. And it didn't, not that moment, but the first warning shots of, oh God, this is bad, was that night. Seeing those uniforms, playing against them next week, is that going to trigger any memories for you, or have you been able to successfully sort of?
I sure hope not. We always joke about it, like if the world shuts down. So before COVID hit, we had this game plan. Just for whatever reason, we were fellowshipping before practice, like 2 hours before. We were all sitting in the dugout hanging out. He goes, hey, if we end up going off the grid for whatever reason, our plan is we're going to meet in this dugout. We're going to go raid CBS. We're going to get everything we need to, and we're just going to go camp out. We're like drafting the players that we need, to be a part of it, who can help us hunt or whatever it may be. And then all of a sudden COVID actually hit, like it was a real thing. And, it wasn't quite, we were off the grid, but like it kind of became a joke of, we kind of spoke that into existence. So
who to blame? We can blame you guys.
Right?
For the whole thing, right?
So I hope it's not the same sort of thing with these jerseys. Like if we're going to speak this into existence again, that'd be unreal. But surely not, right? Surely
no
not.
way, no way, never again.
Coach B, he has this thing for the gray uniforms. He hates them. Like we almost never wear them. So we'll see. I don't know what we're going to end up wearing, but I don't know if that's going to be one of his superstitions or what, but hopefully not. Surely not. These jerseys aren't going to mean anything, right?
It's a crazy question, right? But did that experience when it got taken away from you? I mean, this applies to so many other things in life, right? Not just baseball, but when it got taken away from you, now that it's back, is it back to normal yet? Or are you still in completely, man, I'm so glad we get to do this mode? I mean, is that, I know it's been a year, 2 years. I guess maybe it's more appropriate last year.
It has been a year and a half now, or almost 2 years.
Almost
but
2 years, yeah.
Even the years before this, like it wasn't normal yet. Like I didn't, we were still doing we were following a bunch of different rules that we had to follow and everything like that. So I would say it does feel, like we're actually back to normal now. It feels like we're playing baseball like we should be, and there's not very many restrictions and whatever. But at the same time, I do feel like a little kid just wanting to play again. Like I feel like we waited 2 years. Like it's time we finally got to do it. So now we actually get to play it out. So yeah, there's a lot of excitement this year for sure.
That's great. Really appreciate the time. I know you got a busy stretch. I don't know what we'll do about next week with the Tuesday, Wednesday game, but we'll figure it out. And you guys go on the road next weekend. So
can't wait for that.
Yeah, that'll be kind of a different storyline for us to talk about. So listen, best of luck tomorrow, obviously, and then best of luck this weekend and into next week. And look forward to talking to you again soon.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.